Thank you very much, Representative Budinsky. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Very quickly, will all four of you tell me why the Mission Act was put into law, Mr. Lyle? Brief, please.
Essentially to give veterans access to a community provider if the VA was unable to meet certain types.
Mr. Selnick?
Yes, it was to go ahead and make sure that we modernize the VA healthcare system, and we modeled it after the TRICARE Prime system, so that veterans would always have choice and always have a backstop, and would always have the ability to get access to care.
Mr. Murray?
Because VA cannot, they have not been able to, they never have been able to, and they never will be able to provide 100% of the care to 100% of the veterans 100% of the time.
Ms. Burke?
Yeah. Yes, and in the wake of 2014, the veterans did not trust VA in delivering their care, and there was somewhat in media good reasons for that. I think therefore, as a result of that, the agency put in drive time and wait time requirements as a result.
So let me just say I'm a 24-year Army veteran. My husband's a 30-year Army veteran. 6 of the 8 children in my family served in the military, as did my father, who was retired in the military and had care at a military hospital. The reason why the Mission Act was put into place was because veterans were dying waiting for care. It is that simple. Your care may be the most excellent in the world, but if a veteran can't get in there to get care, it doesn't matter. Community care exists because veterans were dying waiting to get into care. There should be a collaboration. Mr. Stelnick, how does H.R. 10,267 protect a veteran's choice in where they receive health care?
The codification of the access standards are very important. When we created the access standards, the reason we didn't put it in the original legislation is because we need to go ahead and benchmark and find out what would work. We borrowed we did all the studies just like we needed to, commercial, Medicare, et cetera, DOD. And the DOD access standards, and I'm retired military, I go to Camp Pendleton, is tougher access standards than the VA. So we needed to codify it. We put in the requirement to go ahead and check it out. It's been tested out, it's been proven out. VA's not been following it. Veterans need certainty that these access standards will stay, and the current administration has indicated they want to change it to eliminate it. And that's why we need codification number one. And in terms of best medical interest, VA has overturned its own doctors on best medical interest.
Yeah, Mr. Lyle, given the critical role community care plays in addressing veterans' health care needs, how can VA further integrate community care into the VA system?
Well, I think there's thank you for the question, Chairwoman. I think there's a number of ways. I think the largest and most important way is streamlining the scheduling of community care and ensuring that if a veteran gets referred to community care, they can get to choose the time and place that they access care in the community.
And Mr. Murray, I think you had some input on that. I can see you're dying to answer this question, or not dying, but you're excited to answer this question.
I think Mr. Lyle hit on one of them, scheduling. Part of the Complete the Mission Act is directing VA to work with its third-party administrators to develop an interactive scheduling system. We suggest they buy it to whatever extent possible. There are private platforms that they can use. VA is piloting right now with one of them. We want to see that happen. VA has been historically terrible at doing their own IT solutions. We should not, please don't direct them to try that again. They're not good at it.
You actually mentioned what the active duty military is doing, or what military is doing with their retirees in community care. Ms. Burke, you believe that codifying the access standards in the Complete the Mission Act unnecessarily promotes, your words, privatization. Please tell me how codifying a standard time frame in which VA should provide care privatizes the system.
Currently, the way the PACT Act and the way the budget mechanics are, we have 2 years in the rear of funding prior to going to when the unique is vested. So, it makes it very difficult for what we hear from managers to even budget forecast some of the system as bifurcated as it is. to see like an increase of 30% of uniques coming into us for the PACT Act. At the same time, they're looking out in the horizon saying, okay, now we have to segregate out these patients for veterans care. And at the same time, we don't have the flexibility necessarily to increase for those veterans that may want to see internally to VA.
Thank you. It sounds like a budgeting problem rather than privatization, which is often used as an inflammatory word. Thank you so much for our witnesses for being